Hello, this is an ideal game that white won by half a point, but actually white owes another move in the top right corner to prevent a seki. So right now both players passed and the count went towards white. But before then, white needs to play a move either here or R19 to stay alive in the corner and prevent the seki. So if black doesn't pass and tries R18, the only way for white to stay alive is to go S19, and this is going to be a seki. Now, being a seki, those 8 points disappear, so now black wins by 7.5. If white plays S18 instead of S19, black will hane, and this will lead to a ko fight. And on this kind of ko, black can just play a double atari here, take back the ko, and it's really tough for white because white cannot play R19 locally. It's going to be a self atari, and it's the same thing if white plays here. So white really needs to win the ko going in the corner at T19. Otherwise, what happens? So let's say white plays a ko threat here. Black can just go atari and try to kill everything. So when white captures these stones, it's a disaster. Therefore, white needs to go back and take the ko. But now, any kind of ko threat is pretty good for black. For example, attach here and then go for the kill on the right side. So when white captures, atari. Oh wait, this is going to be a seki. And this is a ko. Actually, there are better threats, so my bad. For example, cut like this and then capture these guys. So that will turn the game around if it's a ko in the corner. Therefore, white really has to pay attention how to make the seki. But the seki is also a problem because white will lose all those points in the corner. Anyway, S19 is the move to go for seki, and S18 would be a ko in the end. Or it can still be a seki if black decides to connect and white protects here, and it's good enough for black. So either way, black will turn the game around just before saying pass. But let's check it out from the beginning. So we have a very calm fuseki. Here white can be more aggressive and attack p3. When white defends the corner, black can either shimari p4, o4, o3 right away, or go for a middle side extension, which creates the so-called mini Chinese fuseki pattern. That was very popular in the past, but okay, black is speeding up the fuseki with another approach, and then shimari. This is fine. White goes san-san, obviously very modern. This is good too. And now white played the wrong hane. It's usually o18 first. If black answers here, white can push one more time, black extends again, and white is already alive in the corner, so white doesn't need s16, because a move like x16 just gives black a lot of power on the outside. White doesn't want to make those exchanges. It's more interesting for white to split the side. But when white plays the hane in the top, black is not going to answer nobi right away, because black has other options. There is double hane, there is the hane in the corner and then the double hane, or hane in the corner and inside cut. So black will just wait and see. Probably right now, black will go for a middle side extension. And in this case, white can atari and go down to prevent all the complicated fights in the top right corner. But that's another story. So once white played hane here, black blocks, connects, and defends on the right. But actually, black can take a bit of advantage in the local fight because white didn't play o18, so black can play here, for example. This cut is not a problem. And the thing is, if you don't allow white the hane at o18, which right now you can block, but before you had to play nobi, later on, it's nice to play. So for example, when white plays around here, it's very good to play p18 and connect, because now this group needs to leave. So white has to play another move, and in the end, white just leaves with 4 or 5 points compared to 8, 10, what could happen in a normal joseki. So black defends here. White plays a kick, but actually white should still hane under. I don't think black will allow the atari at n17 right now. I mean, it can be possible, but then immediately atari comes. So if black just nobi and white pushes again, black nobi, now the corner is more than 10 points, and white can still play in the middle of the right side to erase the moil. But well, it's still a pity that white forced that strong formation on the right. So white played the kick, and now before you answer, you can hane in the corner, because now white has to block, you connect, white has to leave. If white plays another move in the top left corner, you just Hane, and this is the dead L formation, so all the corner dies unconditionally. All of a sudden, black has this corner and the potential towards the side. So instead of Nobi, immediately Hane, and connect in Sente. So white has to leave and then Nobi up. This will give black more potential in the top and it's an easier fight. So once you play Nobi here, this gives white again the opportunity to Hane under and fix the corner. But white obviously has his plans to jump in and put a lot of pressure. Then black goes down. Very good. But when you go down, white protects and this is going to give him a bigger life. So in the end, he can make 8 or 9 points or at least 7 if he doesn't want to get into the Seki position like we've seen before. But if you play the Hane and then connect, now he needs to live like this. So the end game will be Hane here block, Hane here block. So white can build just 4 points towards the end. I mean, that's the minimum amount of territory he can get compared to this where he builds almost double. So good to think about that aspect of the game. And now black extends to the middle of the side but high. Actually, it's a bit better to extend low. It's safer for the top base, and also when white comes out, black will come out again. White will probably play here or jump along and so on. But the thing is, having the stone on the third line, it's much easier to use this move. So then when white cuts, you cut, give a stone, Atari, connect, and you connect above and go for compensation here. So it's very important how you follow up, because playing the move on the fourth line will never connect to the stones in the top. I mean, there is no relationship between this K4 and the stones in the top left corner. That's an important detail to remember. Now white jumps out, black jumps along, this is good. Here, black can play an attach like this, or Tsuke combined with Sansan. Try to test a little bit the waters in the top left, and also get a better shape for that group. So if something like this happens, white answers everything to keep the left side, then black can cap. Because now, being a little bit stronger here with I shape, it's easier to play the cap and put the 3 stones under attack. If you just jump, the jump means you want to escape, run out, but it doesn't really affect the 3 stones so much. So white can just extend here, which is good. Black protects against the cut. That's not such a big deal, in fact. For example, if black plays a double up and white cuts, black can just play Atari and jump here or jump directly. So the top group is fine. If white comes in the middle, you split the stones, and now both this group and this group are targets. But yeah, it feels quite proper to play this kind of move. It's just that it leaves white the slide, and then when you answer, it's easy for white to make I shape towards the center. I mean, just run out very light, and then the potential here is ruined, and this group is still on the run on the left. Anyway, white jumps in. A very good directional play for black here. Now put some pressure. Yeah, that's a fine idea. I mean, there are ways to attack by taking away the base like this. That's an option too. You can also play the other move to put pressure. Yeah, I mean, sorry, the other one being Q11. So when white connects, you can play Nobi. It doesn't always have to be the attach. Actually, the attach is fine, but when you play the Nobi, you're actually threatening the cuts. So this means if white comes out, you push and you cut either this way or this way. Let's check both variations. So once you cut S9, white will take the stone. Well, not always, but most of the time he needs to take the stone that cuts. Then black goes Atari from behind, this is bait, and connects underneath. When white turns, you just Hane. So these 3 stones are a little bit in trouble. Of course, white can try Atari, then Atari again, then he can try this kind of move. You cut and connect underneath, then he's running out. But white is just too busy. I mean, he created a weak group here and a weak group in the center. Both are heavy and kind of eyeless. Now, if you play the inside cut, so push, then cut here. When white captures this stone, you play Atari, connect underneath. If he tries to save these guys, then he's got a problem on the right side. He needs to live here somehow. If he tries to save the right side, then the other stones are in trouble. And anyway, having a group around here and facing the top thickness is not very effective for white. So remember the Nobi, which threatens the cuts, push and cut one way or the other, and many times white will just play the Kosumi to make sure you're not going to push and cut. But then you can cover, and this puts a lot of pressure on the group. White can play here, then turn, and finally stay alive on the side. But with all this thickness, it's much easier to attack the top group and look for a huge potential territory in the center. So that's an option too. Anyway, put pressure, shoulder hit, and attach. That's fine. I mean, the idea is good for black because black is trying to set up some kind of wall to attack the stones in the top. So make some noise on the east to attack the west. That's the proverb black is following here. But now the connection should actually be the other side, because black is already strong in the top. And now even if white plays an Atari, let's say white goes Atari here, you connect, white plays this move. I mean, he's already kind of surrounded and pushed into the top wall. And then when you play a move like this, he needs to find ways to leave. For example, he will push, then tsuke, maybe also play this kind of turn and either hanging connection or go down here. But hanging connection, it's already alive. So this is enough space to leave, but it's a 5 points life. So again, black got a very nice wall and sente to attack the target in the top. Therefore, it's more interesting to connect this way than the other way, because you were strong in the top right anyway. And when you connect here, white can play an Atari or an attach like this or an attach under, and then when you capture one stone, he just captures the other one and he's out in the center. So anyway, this group will leave, but he also comes inside to ruin the moyo. It's important how you make him leave small instead of big. But I see white still went for the very safe life on the second line, and that can be expensive. Black can still surround. Yeah, this is a nice move, attacks the top group. So the flow of the game, it's really good for black right now. I think it works to play Keima right away, but it's just a matter of style. You know, to go out faster, get ahead of your opponent, this is fine too, and surround the group. But now, black could play a bit more active. So obviously with this move, white is looking for I shape, and in this case, black could peep, trying to ruin the I shape and keep the stones connected. If white pushes here, you have time to push again, and then hit the vital point, then Nobi, and finally come back and protect. And all this group is still under attack for white. So playing this block gives a few extra points for black, but it doesn't attack so aggressively. So once you play a peep, if he connects and then you double up, when he plays here, you know the shapes are okay. I mean, you're all connected, and it really keeps a lot of pressure on white's group. Now with this attach, white can escape easily. Instead of this connection, there's a better way to protect, which is tiger mouth. If white turns, you block and you're fine. If white pushes here, you block and you're connected anyway. And that tiger mouth also, it's threatening, I mean, it's preparing the connection underneath, but it's threatening the group more. I mean, he needs to bump, then you push to the left, he has to connect, and he still needs some moves in the middle. Ooh, that's tough. How to? Losing eyes rapidly, actually. So the tiger mouth is clearly a much more effective way to continue the attack. Playing here, white can cut. So Atari, go down, connect, protect, you go out. There's a squeeze play, but actually he'll just push and push again. Still dangerous. So wait, on the cut, tuck, tuck, tuck. Yeah, this can give white eye shape, but the cut is not clearly working right now. I mean, white needs to push first, then push again, and after that cut. Because now when black goes out, yeah, this will be the case. So yeah, the cut is Samaji, but it's still better for white, for black to think about this move. Now white bumps, which is proper to make some eye shape, and black connects. But instead of the connection solid, you should just push, because next you're threatening a cut. If white answers here, there is no need to play a move at k17. You can play away, and then when he cuts, you just Atari and go down. So you catch those stones faster. But you cannot kill the group anymore. He can link underneath. And anyway, the connection, it's solid. And I think white needs to play another move like this or like this to stay alive in the middle. Ah, yeah. So he's finally alive, and black sent it. So that's why I mentioned that Fuseki went pretty well for black this game, and it was really promising. So right now, yeah, that Sansan, it's a good probe. It's big to extend on the bottom, k4 or slide and extend back. This is the most open side on the board. I mean, if you play a move like k4 and white just goes down here to prevent the Sansan invasion, then you jump out, obviously you make a much bigger territory on the bottom than what white protects in the top left corner. Anyway, it's good to test him. This Tsuke was nice too, make it more confusing. Yeah, normally white just defends like this, then Hane, block, push, cut, or play Kosumi, which threatens the connection underneath. If white blocks, you go down, because now you can connect underneath. And if white turns, you can just connect underneath the top, but it's really not necessary. I mean, those are small points. Anyway, that was a good combination, and now you should follow up with a Hane here or a Hane on the second line. If he blocks, Atari, connect, and instead of this kind of defense, just jump in. So try to surround this guy, and in the same time put some pressure on the corner too, because next the Sansan invasion will hurt white. Anyway, black just connects, white goes down. So it really feels that black could gain more in this fight on the left side. Now here, when the crosscut is played, this Atari and connection doesn't really bring a lot of profit. So it's more interesting to play Atari under to see whether white connects or Atari from behind. Now, if white connects, this is already a bad shape. I mean, it's empty triangle here. Now, after the Atari under, you must go out. So you play Atari here, and when white goes out, connect, and it's already going to hurt the corner. White needs to protect like this or capture the stone. You can push one time, so he spent lots of stones to capture one and make an eye. Then you play the turn and jump into the middle. Now he needs to defend the corner, but the left side has some problems. I mean, it's only one eye. And if he protects the corner, I mean the group on the left side, with this kind of move to connect, then you slide in the corner and you have a better target here. Now, of course, on this Atari, white can Atari under and connect, but this gives black a Ponuki, and it's really powerful. Then black will either jump like this or like this to go for a big bottom side. So it's much more profitable than Atari and connect, and in the end, black didn't gain much. I mean, black can just block here. It's more interesting, instead of Atari from behind, which clearly gives territory to white, you block here. Now, when white plays, let's say Atari, and connects like this, you capture 2 stones, and he needs another move to stay safe. But if he defends the other stones with a Kosumi, so he doesn't lose the 2 stones, you don't play Atari and give him the stone, you go Atari from the other side and connect. And now, even if he plays here, he's still on the run. When he pushes like this, you come out. If he plays here, you turn and you try to live in the corner. So it's more damage. You can even play here. Tsuke, cut, Atari, and connect. So now this group became a target. So you really have to pay attention in these local fights. There are more options than it's obvious at the first glance. For example, it's good enough to play Atari like this. Oops. White goes out, then connect. White captures a stone, then Atari under. He takes a stone, you push, he connects, you clamp, take the stone on the left side, and already damage is done. So let's move on. Let's see what happened later on. Atari here, block, white defense. Well, yeah, in a way white can give those 2 stones, but it's good to play one Atari here just to force black into a bad shape and later use the Saji. But now, for example, if black plays J3, white will catch 2 stones. Black will catch the 2 stones in center. White needs to play here. But somehow white gained, because white lost these 2 stones, but for a change, white pins are on the bottom, and now F3 is in danger. And the way white should protect, it's not a turn, it's better to play Kosumi. If black goes down, white hits center and pincer. And if black plays away, white can link underneath eventually. Not right now, still too small. So this was tricky. Black can go down. Turn. Now the corner, it's a little bit in danger, but still okay. Oh, interesting attach here. It feels that black is, white is a bit desperate. It's still okay to play the pincer like this. Black will fix somehow. Let's say white will go for the outside this time, give up the corner, and then approach m3. So obviously white can gain more profit on the bottom side if he forces black to leave in the corner. This tsuke, it's a bit dangerous. So hane, very good. Counter hane, maybe not even necessary. Just nobi, black connects, goes down, turn, black goes up, and then extend. Much easier. This one, black can cut. Black can also connect solid, and then white still needs to pincer, because if white connects, now black will take away the extension and the 3 stones are heavy, so they need to run, which kind of happened in the game. But if black cuts, this is a good fight for black. White will go down, and then black can block n2. Now when white turns, black just extends, Atari connect, Nobi go out, the 3 stones on the bottom died, and the other 3 stones are floating in the center. So therefore white is punished. If white plays Atari here, you go out. If he plays Atari, you go out. He's captured in a few moves. If he tries to resist with Atari and then another Atari, then connect, now he's still in trouble with the entire corner, because when he plays here, you just block, and this is a L formation, already dead. So really difficult for white if Atari comes. If Atari from behind, you take, and that's a Ponuki, and his stones are still in trouble. When he plays here, you can pincer and fight the ko, or you can connect, and he's still weak overall. Then attach and leave in the corner. So those are the ways to continue the fight on the bottom. This is pretty good. Now white is on the run again. Very aggressive, this white. Oh no, you don't need to connect. You must nobi to the right, because this nobi on the right gives enough liberties, so in case white cuts, you just go Atari, push him down. When Atari here, you answer, and there are no more forcing moves, so white needs to come back and protect here. But the group is still somewhat running without eyes into the middle, where black has stones waiting. So this nobi, it's the key point, because if white plays other moves, for example, comes in like that, you can play hane, or you can play the keima. Now when white goes up, you separate. If white plays here, which is an empty triangle, push. When he cuts, you just cover, and everything is dead. On this move, Atari and go down. And if you're not confident to kill with Atari and push, you can just Atari under and let the other group escape, but you still kill the important stones. So this is really key. Nobi L3. That's where both white and black want to play. Because if you look at the position like this, without playing the nobi, obviously white wants to cut and catch one stone. But when you have the nobi in place, this cut doesn't work any longer. So it's Atari, push down, answer all these moves. He needs to connect here, but you can still peep and then surround everything. So that's another critical moment of the game. Now here, when he hane, he starts to make some eye shape. It's okay to slide, in fact. Just slide. White answers in the corner. Then hane here, Atari, which usually he sacrifice, Atari again, and looks for eye shape. So tsuke. Okay, it got pretty fine. White goes out. Yeah, white escapes too easy. And oh, you don't have to connect. Always Atari first. Because when you Atari and white Atari from behind and Atari again, you will never play a move inside that K2. It's no longer necessary. You're safe. And if he connects, you don't have to connect K2. That's not important. You go out and keep fighting in the middle. If he plays here, you go Atari, Atari, connect. Now he needs to leave on the bottom somehow, but it's not easy. If he comes out, you push. And the thing is, even if this bottom group doesn't die, the other stones can die. And if the group in the center escapes, the bottom will die for sure. So the timing is to play, so after this sequence, play the Atari once at L4, very important. Now he doesn't care anymore. I mean, if you play here, he will always cover, and oh, he didn't. Ah, that Atari never came from black. That's pretty good. Yeah, nice idea to surround this group because at some point S11 can be deadly. But I think white is alert about that formation. Yeah, this guy doesn't do much. Just Hane and turn. And now also this Atari doesn't really do anything. He's safe. But what else? Connect here. He might panic and play some move around here. Then this Hane is Sente, but we will get there. Oh, it's important to play around here. Makes the top left corner smaller and capture this stone. So let's see, this cut. The connection was quite big, so he needed to leave. But the way to leave here for white is this move. Because when vital point, protect, and that's it. Later on, it was a smaller life. This is a good catch. White usually goes down and gets more forcey moves. We've seen that before. Like this black captures and then Hane at b5 is quite big. Yeah, this is threatening a little bit the corner. And also prepares a connection underneath. Yeah, black can actually use this now. If white tries to cut, Atari from behind, Atari again, go down. This is just one eye. And the problem is white needs to come back in the corner because if white plays in the middle to cut these guys, black will connect the stone in the corner and anyway the group in the center is safe for black. So this connection was a connection on neutral points when you can actually connect and make some points in the top. If white plays here, just pull back and build more, or like this. So connect, push and block, answer everything. It works to block with an empty triangle, no problem. I mean, if he cuts, you connect, if he comes out, you catch. If he plays here, nothing happens, so you build a few extra points. I mean, like this, white can push inside again and destroy a couple of extra points. This is not really necessary. Let's look all over the board. Oh, that can be annoying. This move, white plays here. You can play Hane, white does this. You can even go down, threatening the connection under. Wow, this is alive. And the thing is, if white captures here, you can just erase the top. Many moves, many points will disappear. Another way is to play Hane, block, hanging connection. And if he takes the ko, you Hane. When he blocks, you take back the ko. If he connects here, you just play this one and it's alive. So there is some damage that black can do in the top left corner, obviously. And it's also good enough to play a monkey jump. This will be a cente reduction. That's a bit small. I mean, in the top right, so let's say we do a monkey jump, white can push, white can play Atari, then he needs to come back. And you don't even need to defend there, I think. Yeah, you can go down here and kill the top left corner. So that was a scary defense. Yeah, this 18 is really big. A lot of RG in the corner. This was good. So normally here, white should protect this way. And black can push one more time, white blocks, and eventually black will Hane here and connect. So there are like 5 points for white. But maybe white will get to play p19 because black doesn't want to play this move in Gote. So if white goes here, it will be 6 points. But still, it's 6 points, not 8 or 7. So white defends, and there is still a possibility to make a Seki. This is fine. Some Aji here. Ah, nice catch. That's okay. This move you don't need to block, it's just 1 point. More interesting to play other moves. For example, attach here. This can give you more points. White pushes, you block, nothing happens. That was big. T8, it's more than 1 point, but still, it's Gote. Black has the option to play this. Everything's Sente. White has to come back, then play away. But anyway, let's see. Yeah, there was a chance in the middle to grab some points around here. Yeah, this wedge was quite smart. So now Black didn't have to connect. Black actually can play the wedge, I mean the squeeze play. Atari, and then Atari from behind, and Atari again, and Atari again. So when black plays this Atari, and Atari from behind, white can only connect here and give up the 3 stones. So this will be again a win for black. Now white can come out. You can squeeze, but then you need to come back. Yeah. So white was quite lucky to save those stones. Could make a big difference in this particular game when it's half a point. Yeah, that move is really big. Protect. So there is nothing here, because white will put himself in Atari when he tries this Atari. Very good. To protect like this to make an extra point and in the same time get rid of the Agi. Ah, but this move is still not needed. Just play Atari here. If white connects, let's say we play away and read that again. So Hane and connect here, which is Gote for now. So if cut, Atari, go out, Atari, go out, Atari, go out, Atari, escape. And then if white plays here, it's safe Atari, self Atari, and the same thing the other way. So you don't need to play another move inside. I thought when you play this move, you consider the cut, and that's why J17. Because now it's a move inside, it's -1 point, when this Atari can actually make some points. You can let white play all these moves, these are his quadrats, but in the end, they are captured. And if he doesn't answer the Atari, let's say he plays Hane block connecting Gote, you take a stone, then you take another stone, and so on. So all of a sudden, you win the game by 2 points, if everything stays the same. Here it works to play Atari first. White needs to connect, black connects. Now if white is brave and he cuts, you capture 2 stones. All of a sudden you got 3 liberties. If he plays throw in, you play Atari here and it's fine. If he plays this one, you capture 2 stones faster. So anyway, there is some damage. Therefore, Atari, connect, connect. Or you connect solid and later on you play the Atari. If he pushes, it's 1 point in Gote. But if he plays other moves, like Atari here, you Atari 2 stones and it's the same thing. Like when you Atari first and then connect. So he played that Atari, which was big. White really got a lot in the end game and managed to come back to win this game by half a point. That was big. It's also good to play Atari here. He will answer. This is fine. Yeah, so Atari here is Sente. This push to prevent the Sente Atari. If white defends, it's okay. Otherwise, you push again in Sente. Atari here is good. And then play this move and connect like that, threatening. Oh, actually go down and then Atari. Phew, this is big. So yeah, when you play this move, white will actually take the stone. And now Hane and connect. The 2 points Gote. So this will be again a win for black by a few points. So push. He took a stone. Okay, got this Atari. That's big. It's a pity you didn't play here, the push. Because when he captures 1 stone, it's actually just 1 point. And then you push inside and you damage more. Because once you play G7, you make a point here. He makes 1 less and you can push and he will make another 1 less. And if he captures a stone, this is 1 point because white can play Atari here. And in the end, you gotta feel. And it's a 1 point Gote for now. And you need another move in Gote to make an extra point. I mean, with this connection, you save a stone. That's why it's 1 point. And when he plays Atari here, if you play another move here, you make another point, but he damages more. So, should really pay attention. Oh, there's some Agi here, so white has to be careful. Yeah, I should go down. Push like this. When white plays here, you just go Atari. If white tries to connect, it's a ko. Now that was a big opportunity. Because when you connect, he defends. And now if you go down, what can he try? If he tries this move, you just Atari with ko. And then he must take here, you go down, he must take a liberty, and Atari again. And if he plays Atari here, you just capture, then he has to come back. Phew, that was another way to win this game at the end. This was big. Oh, white needs to protect. Super dangerous not to. Because black can go Atari, white connects, and then Atari from behind, and white cannot connect. It's this kind of Dametsumari. So on this Atari, if white plays here, black will capture the core and Atari connect, damage is done. This move is just how many points? Like 2. So white connected, full. He escape again. And then, instead of white playing Atari here, he should go back and protect the corner, then black plays this move, and now black wins by 1.5 instead of a loss of half a point. So he destroys this point, black connects, but actually now it's time to, make the Seki with R18, and even if white wins this core, he's losing by 6.5. So I hope you enjoyed this review and pay more attention in these close games, how to play the end game. Don't miss opportunities like the one on the left side to create a core, or this one in the middle, and of course the Seki in the top right. Lots of interesting lessons to take away from this particular game.